What up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to the WARFRAME video. So, we're still waiting for the release date of Deviri to be announced. In the meantime, I've been messing with some of my favorite frames to try and unlock some new synergies and things of that nature. So today we're going over Crit Latum Citrine, and I'll explain why I bought this weird ribbon for the Latum, why it's useful on Citrine, and basically why would you do this? So that's going to be the idea of today's video, going over that. If you enjoy these types of videos, we do daily Warframe video uploads. Make sure you're subbed to the channel, and also check out the live stream channel where we do lots of Warframe live streams. Alright, so Red Crit Latum Citrine. What's the situation here, and what is the Riven I bought? The entire purpose of this is I wanted to buy a Riven with plus crit damage, but minus crit chance. I know that looks kind of goofy on the card, but I'll explain why I did this in a second here. So we have plus toxin, plus critical damage, plus multi-shot, minus critical chance. And I did purchase this. So the reason for this is, if you know what the Latum is, it's basically an Incarnon pistol from Zeramon, and it can do some really big damage. There are two main loadouts people usually go for on the Latum. One of them is a build based around not going for crits ever, and this one is going to be more focused on going for a little bit of crit, a little bit of status, but mostly all crit. So, as you can see right here, we're not getting many yellow crits, but we use Citrine's fourth ability, Crystallize. Shooting that crystal will give you a guaranteed red crit. And you might be like, why minus crit chance, though? It's going to be tying into the Incarnon evolution option. I believe it's called Devouring Attrition or something like that at level 5. So we'll show that in a second here. So that is going to be a Latum build. Now remember, or just to put this out there, we are actually missing one mod slot. I need to actually form this one more time to maybe put on like Galvanized Shot or some Fire Rate or something like that. But here's what we have. So, why minus crit chance, even though it's a crit build? The reason for that is it's actually overwhelming attrition. On a hit that is neither crit nor applies a status effect, plus 400% damage for 10 seconds, stacks up to 3 times. So that's why we're going for minus crit, to make sure this is as reliable as possible, as this is literally a Riven I bought, and I built the second Latum specifically for Citrine. If we weren't using this Latum, we use the other one. This is the other option people usually go for. 50% chance to deal plus 2,000% damage on non-crit hits. And I believe the math for this actually is different than the one we are using on the other option, the other loadout. But you know, you also get access to the crit multiplier. Since the non-crit is not going to get access to any crit multiplier, that's what we're doing right here. So we're going to get 1,200% increased damage once fully stacked up, and then we can also get crits which multiply that, etc., etc. As far as our Incarnon options here, we've gone for increased fire rate at level 2, Rapid Wrath. Evolution 3 is going to be increased reload speed for 12 seconds on headshot, stacks with 3 times. Increased headshot damage from Caput Mortum, which technically is not the most synergy with Citrine's crystals as they don't have a headshot multiplier, but we are going to be getting normal shots. Not every enemy will be crystallized in the first place. We've also got, as I said, overwhelming attrition, increased damage on non-crit, non-status. So as far as the mods on the build, we want to go for no plus status chance mods. I might be okay with Galvanized Shot in the end, just because it does give you a good amount of damage. But yeah, we're not going for any increased status chance mod. We got status duration just for extra shield gating. But yeah, this can actually like one-shot acolytes and all that with just this, pretty bare bones build. The Citrine build I'm using today is the same one I put in my Expedite Suffering Citrine build video. If you want to go look at that, be my guest, but here's a quick glance over it. I would definitely recommend to put on some casting speed shards on Citrine, as her casting speed is terrible. It's really, really bad. And we've actually taken off her damage reduction ability and put Expedite Suffering, which will detonate, I believe, slash procs and poison procs on the enemy. So if we put a bunch of toxin procs on them with like whatever, Serrata, or some slash procs from like whatever, the glaive, we can detonate those instantly. So that's the idea for the build. We're going to be putting crystals on enemies with Citrine. Once we get our stacks up, we are going to be doing overwhelming damage. So we've stacked that up. Corrosive build right now, so we get a couple, I think we're fully stacked up. Yep, fully stacked up. Now that's when you activate the crystals, transform, and one bullet is going to be doing tons and tons of damage. A lot of damage. Even these guys are still fully, they're not armor stripped or whatever. So if you were to throw armor strip in here too, even more dumb numbers. This is mostly going to be for acolytes, actually. I have plenty of ways to kill an acolyte with Citrine, but the Latum is one of the strongest pistols in the game easily, and getting guaranteed red crits. So I said, might as well throw that on there. Now, as far as high-level missions with Citrine, you actually can go down the shield getting route or even the DR health tanking route. Now, I'm not going to say that the DR health tanking route is going to really work as well at really, really high levels. But, you know, for like normal stuff like this, like entry-level steel path stuff, should be relatively fine. I'm going to still use shield getting, though, because just her first ability is very fast to cast, even with no shards on it, so it's very easy. Shield gate with brief respite and a little bit of augur mods. But again, in this footage right here, this is with no casting speed shards. You really are going to want some of those amber casting speed shards to be utilizing this properly. Also, let's talk about the Riven real quick for the Latum. Is what I got the absolute god roll? I would say probably not. Potentially removing the toxin mod for the toxin stat on my Riven for fire rate could have been better, or maybe potentially making it a dual stat. You will get, I don't need as much minus crit chance as I have on here. It's just a little bit of a consistency thing to make sure that I can, get my overwhelming attrition thing where it's like non-crit, non-status. I have a 10% crit chance with this build. If we had a dual stat with a negative, it'd probably be around like a 15% crit chance with this build. And of course, it's me overly min-maxing a little bit. You don't really need to have a negative crit Riven. You can go with a normal plus crit Riven. But I found it to be kind of nice for consistency's sake. Also, I technically could use this Riven on the fully non-crit setup, but I already have a fully non-crit setup Riven already, so I just want to use this for a little bit of fun, as I do really like Citrine for high-level missions. I'm planning to use this Latum setup for a level 10,000 Citrine mission in the near future. Not like I don't think I can't do it, I haven't done it technically with the Latum for level 10,000 on Citrine, so potentially expect that in the future. It will definitely be on a live stream if it's not going to be in a video. Yeah, because Citrine is very good for high levels. Now, I know some people are like, oh, it's a damage loss to shoot the crystal. But it's also a guaranteed red crit. So if you're generating a bunch of crit damage, it's going to multiply it by a lot. You can, have, if you watch my previous Citrine videos, weapons even like the Sporothrix with literally 1% crit chance become a red crit. So I have a massive crit multiplier in some of these weapons that become red crits and can just really hit enemies really hard. Now, right there, that's one of the problems with me not having casting speed shards. I can't really shield gate quick enough in some situations, so I actually got killed there in the corner. So shield gating can be kind of annoying since you have to spam abilities constantly. So if this is not your type of playstyle, maybe try to not remove her 2 for Expedite Suffering. Maybe remove her 3 for Expedite Suffering. Actually, no, don't do that because Expedite Suffering stacks very nicely with her 3. So definitely keep that. I don't know, maybe remove her. How about just no helmet if you want to keep the DR? Her DR from her second ability is very nice. And I actually really like her crystallized ability. I know some people don't like it, so. Very powerful frame, one of the strongest frames we've gotten in a while. I like her a lot more than Varuna, personally. And I don't know, she's really, really good. So if you want to get her, make sure you do it. And we will, I'm not sure if we're going to have a frame in Devir. Looks like we're not going to have a frame in Deviri, but I'd be okay to be surprised by that down the road. If you guys have any other synergies for Citrine that you would like to share, feel free to post in the comments down below. But just a quick reminder, I had someone in the comments from my previous video saying I'm deleting comments. This is just a PSA for anyone trying to post comments on my videos. I have a setting turned on where any comment with a link in it is going to be automatically deleted. Actually, it wouldn't even post in the first place. Comments with links in them are not posted on my channel. I'm not deleting your comment. I'm not even seeing your comment. So if you want to post a comment on my video, do not post a link, guys. I find that to be a pretty standard thing for a lot of content creators. It's like the amount of scams that can be in YouTube comments nowadays are crazy. So I want to potentially alleviate that by removing links. I'm not trying to hide your comment of your little video you posted that no one cares about. You're trying to prove me wrong. I'm not trying to delete your comments, dude. You are just looking like a joke that you think I am. You're making assumptions in your head. You will look at my comment section. No comments have links in them. So you are just looking like a fool. But if you want to get a hold of me, I've got a Twitter as well. You can post a link in that Twitter probably. So I'll see you guys next time. Enjoy the crit Latum setup and all that kind of stuff. I'll see you next time. Appreciate the support. Peace.